Today's reflection is about human currency, like what you need to buy your way through life. Looking at time, looking at connections in terms of people, loved ones, children, family, and also looking at the energy that you have, that body and health and ability to do the things that are necessary in your life. And let's really look at those aspects of your life and see how you use them to create that meaningful balance. We call it human currency because those are the things that make you move through this meaningful life. And you don't necessarily need all of them to make you happy, to make life meaningful. But at different times of your life, you need a few of them coming together to align. Okay, how do we bank on time for that reservoir? How do we bank on that human energy, whether it's physical or emotional energy, the thing that moves you on physically, spiritually, psychologically? Sometimes our feet do the movement. Sometimes that faith and spirit and belief and trust in something bigger than yourself makes you take those steps. It takes cognitive, it takes spiritual, it takes emotional motivation, longing, wanting, and that physical action and activity to arrive certain destinations. So that all comes under your human energy as one aspect of that very necessary capital that we need in our lives. And then the money is so important in our lives, but money has to fit into certain aspects of the puzzles of our lives to make meaning. If you're working so hard that you don't invest in your rest, you don't invest in your relationships, you don't invest in all the other areas of your life, your money capital may be high, but your relationship capital will be low. Your energy will be low. Energy physically because you've overworked, energy psychologically because your relationships are breaking down and you're not happy, emotional and spiritual energy depending on the other areas of your life that you have neglected to be able to skyrocket that financial aspect of your life. So at every time of your life, you have to be able to balance these capitals evenly or at least meaningfully to make life function effectively. You make time by deciding what is meaningful and when to do this thing and not the other thing. You make time to be with the people at the time that is important to be with those people. So, creating time in your life to do the things that are important to you is very, very important. If you don't have enough time to do valuable things, or if you're wasting your time without having firm boundaries, without being selective and acknowledging what is within your control and what is not within your control, so that you don't waste so much meaningful time and effort down certain routes that really do not take you anywhere. So your time is extremely valuable, and how you manage that affects all the other areas of your life. The other thing that is extremely valuable is your connections, how you relate, starting with yourself. How do you value yourself? How are you comfortable within yourself? How do you fit into the family, your social activities, and your romantic activities? Those connections are the things that make life meaningful. So if you're extremely rich and you have all the time in the world, say for instance, you took off a week or a month of leave, but you don't have meaningful people to really spend that time with, and you're not really comfortable with your own space, with your own time, like able to travel the world happily on your own. Now you have money and you have time, but you have broken connections and possibly low energy and momentum because psychologically and spiritually, the absence of connections and the other things are pulling you down, and that brings your energy down. And now you have time and money, but no momentum and motivation. So every day of your life, every week, every month, or every year, however it takes for you to do your evaluation and reflection in your life. Think about these four areas of your life. And money can be any other kind of capital. That's the whole point of this conversation. Your human capital doesn't have to be financial because a lot of people are very aligned and happy and peaceful without necessarily money. If you have the deepest meaningful connections in your life, and you have that energy and you're present, you're healthy, you're motivated to go and have a walk, to go and do some farming, to go to a garden, even if you have the minimum amount of money, you're going to be extremely happy in your life because you have time in your hands. You have the intention to make time for the meaningful people, and you have meaningful people in your life. You have people that you've invested in, not necessarily with money or bribe or payments, but with your love, your presence, showing up when they needed you, giving, service, and every other method that you used as investment for those relationships. They are now in your life and they will come running. They make life meaningful. Every day you wake up knowing that I've got this activity with this person. I had that phone call. I have this present. I have whatever is happening. That makes your life meaningful. So you have the time, you have the people, and you have good health spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. You're happy. Those three things align and they make you a centered person, even in the absence of actual financial capital. And that's very, very important. So, finally, as you go through different stages of your life, your human capital will continuously shift in accordance to changes in your identity or your needs or your wishes and preferences. You find that the time that you had before to do whatever you want, go wherever you want, with whoever, may change when you get into a loving relationship and need to focus on those things. When you have children, when you have jobs that are more demanding of your time, or you choose to travel, leave things and places or people behind and go and do other things that are calling to your heart. So, how you then invest that time and capital and energy and connections is going to shift and align with your shifting identity as you go through life, but making sure that this is who I am now at this stage, this age, this period of my life. This is what I need, and this is the aspects of that human capital that I have to invest and nurture to make me happy and settled within this identity, within this time of my life. You find that sometimes you have to work more and let go of extra relaxing, extra visiting or enjoyment, but at other times you have to pull back and give yourself more time for family, for travel, for self, or for whatever else. You shift that capital around in your life. Those timings and relationships and energy boosting and financial quest, you move those pieces of the puzzle around in your life in accordance to where you want them to be and what you need and how you feel, deciding whether you need to take time off work, whether it's a week or a month, because my energy is going low, my relationships are getting fractured, I've abandoned this, I haven't rested, I haven't looked after myself. If you are able to reflect and recognize when one of those things is dropping too low and causing destabilization within that very much sought out stability in your life, then you need to boost it up. You need to stop and rethink what has gone on in the last week, in the last month, in the last year, and really bring it back into alignment to make sure that you're investing enough into the right aspects of your life in terms of energy, relationships, money, and time. I think if you can focus on those and really recognize the impact that those are having in your life, recognize that it's not my bank account that is going to make me happy, but how I'm able to meet all my needs at the same time.